The highly anticipated Season 13 premiere of Love and Hip Hop Atlantis saw the long-standing tension between Rashida Frost and Jasmine reach a boiling point, culminating in an explosive confrontation that left fans captivated. Much of the drama on the show has centered around Rashida's marriage to Kirk Frost and Jasmine's attempts to interfere, which only fueled an already volatile situation. In this episode, Rashida reached her breaking point and decided to take control, confronting Jasmine in a way no one saw coming. Throughout the series, tension has been fueled by Jasmine's involvement in Rashida and Kirk's marriage, as well as her ongoing efforts to keep the drama alive. Despite the havoc she had already wreaked on their relationship, Jasmine's close friendship with Kirk was well known, and she continued to push boundaries. Even after causing significant conflict, she returned in Season 13, attempting to sleep with Kirk. Jasmine's insistence on holding on to Kirk was more than just irritating. It threatened everything Rashida had worked for. Her family and her life were under attack. Rashida wasn't going to sit back and let it happen this time. Rashida had always been resilient, committed to her career, marriage, and children. She had faced numerous challenges, managing to maintain her grace through it all. Despite her wish to stay out of trouble, she could no longer ignore Jasmine's persistent disrespect. The ongoing drama had stretched Rashida's patience to its limits, and it was clear that Jasmine wouldn't stop. Rashida finally realized she needed to address the situation head-on. She was no longer going to tolerate Jasmine's attempts to ruin everything she had built. Though Jasmine had always been a tough character, Rashida didn't make the decision to confront her lightly. The episode showcased Rashida's unwavering determination. She decided it was time to end her silence and face Jasmine directly. Jasmine had been stirring chaos for years, but Rashida was determined to take control of her narrative and put a stop to it. Their confrontation was intense from the start, highlighting the deep-rooted tension between the two women. This wasn't just a minor disagreement. It was a conflict years in the making, charged with raw emotion. Rashida, who had worked so hard to stay composed, finally let it all out.
So the agreement was that you get cannons the third weekend every month. Do you do that?
No, we can really agree to that because the last
Signed on paper.
This is what I think.
It's not gonna ever be exactly. So I get that now. Never have to question or worry about is that boy getting the love and the same treatment all the other kids when he's around. Always been concerned, and I've always loved him to the You don't have to hear from me because Cannon knows what's up. That's all that matters. It's a little weird now, but you know it's not weird. So it's been now all of a sudden. I always been here since I decided to give him. If I forgave him, I got to take everything that comes with it. Y'all figure some out so we can get this boy on track.
Rashida had grown increasingly frustrated with Jasmine's disrespectful behavior, her constant efforts to undermine her bond with Kirk, and the ongoing damage Jasmine caused to her marriage. Rashida didn't hold back in calling out Jasmine for her repeated attempts to destroy her family, making it clear that she would no longer tolerate such actions. While Jasmine tried to defend herself, Rashida wasn't having it. There was no room for excuses anymore. Rashida's words cut through the tension so sharply that there was no space left for doubt. She was done letting Jasmine get away with her manipulative behavior. This moment was about Rashida taking control of her life and sending a clear message to Jasmine that she couldn't rely on Kirk to continue disrupting her peace. The confrontation quickly escalated, with both women exchanging heated words and strong emotions. As the argument progressed, Rashida took a firm stand, and it became clear that this wasn't just about their ongoing drama. For years, Rashida had worked to maintain order and rise above the chaos, but this time, as the tension grew, she became resolute in defending herself, not just her marriage. Jasmine wasn't going to undo the years Rashida had dedicated to her personal growth, her family, and her businesses. Rashida was determined not to let anyone, including Jasmine, dictate her life. For her, the altercation wasn't just about defending Kirk or their marriage. It was about asserting herself as a woman who wouldn't let anyone walk over her. It was the first time in a long while that Rashida felt empowered to stand up for herself. At that moment, Rashida's strength and determination were undeniable. As the confrontation reached its peak, it was clear that she had not only faced Jasmine, but had also emerged victorious. She had taken control of her narrative, proving to Jasmine that no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't destroy Rashida's family. However, the conflict between Rashida and Jasmine may not have been fully resolved. It marked a significant turning point. By taking charge of the situation, Rashida showcased her strength, resilience, and undeniable power, regaining her authority and dignity. As the episode concluded, viewers were left wondering what would happen next between Rashida, Kirk, and Jasmine. But one thing was clear. Rashida had made it known that no one, no matter how relentless or deceitful, could take away her sense of control. The message was clear. If you challenge Rashida Frost, you better be ready for a fight because her family and peace were her top priorities.
So I'm not.
So the agreement was that she get in the third weekend every month. Do you see that?
No, we can really agree to that because the last.
It's signed on paper. This is what I it's not gonna ever be exactly the same. So I get that now. I'll never, ever have to question or worry about is that boy getting the love and the same treatment as all the other kids when he's around. Always been concerned, and I've always loved him. I've never seen that. You don't have to hear from me because Cameron knows what's up. That's all that matters. It's a little weird now, but you know it's not weird. So it's been I've always been there since I decided to forgive him. If I forgave him, I gotta take everything that comes with it, and that's it. Y'all figure something out so we can get this boy on track again.
Even worse, Kirk has been attempting to portray himself as the victim rather than simply acknowledging his repeated mistakes and taking responsibility for his actions. He has been telling anyone who will listen that he's been unhappy in his marriage for a long time and that his affair with Jasmine was an escape from the issues he was facing with Rashida at home. Rather than owning up to his mistakes, Kirk has tried to deflect blame, casting himself as someone who was driven to cheat because of the problems in his marriage. After their split a few days later, he reportedly sought legal advice on how to proceed with a divorce, further complicating an already tense situation. In my view, Rashida has allowed Kirk to mistreat her by choosing to stay in the relationship instead of walking away. She had every opportunity to leave him, but she made the choice not to. In an interview with Essence, Rashida made it abundantly clear that she wasn't going anywhere. She explained, "People who talk about that a lot could never understand my position. Many women hadn't been together for even 5 minutes, let alone 20. At the end of the day, it's my life, and I don't let anyone's opinion affect me. You can't criticize the decisions I make. I just follow my heart and pray. If you don't agree, don't follow me or comment on my Instagram. Even if I can't help, I won't tell you either." Their marriage has survived through all the turmoil because of Kirk's total transformation. Before realizing how much he truly needed Rashida back in his life, Kirk had to be hospitalized. His decision to have her by his side, though, has angered Jasmine, who has struggled with her own feelings of betrayal, depression, and frustration over the situation. After his divorce from Rashida was finalized, Kirk wasted no time in discussing marriage with Jasmine, even going so far as to expose his actions to anyone willing to listen. Jasmine, understandably, was offended by his request for Rashida to return. But it's important to remember that Kirk is the one at the center of this, and he is adept at manipulating both women. We hope that Kirk recovers soon, but there's little doubt that the relationship between Jasmine and Rashida will continue to deteriorate. Following the doctor's warning that Kirk might not have much time left, many are hoping that he can keep Rashida by his side. Fans have been perplexed by Jasmine's decision to keep her hands off the situation while also throwing stones. One of the consequences of involving a married man in her life, especially knowing the dynamics between him and Rashida, is that Rashida would likely be better off taking care of herself if Kirk were to pass. It's as if the dead weight of Kirk has been cast aside, and she can finally focus on herself. Ultimately, Kirk isn't the man to lead anyone toward happiness. Rashida is too beautiful and strong to let him bring her down any longer. It's time for her to let go and embrace her true worth. The question remains, should Rashida forgive Kirk for everything he has done to her and stay by his side in the hospital, especially after his choice to be with Jasmine during one phase and with Rashida when sober? Or should she remove herself entirely, knowing that Kirk is playing both sides? Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.